Do you recall Dragon Ball Z Buu Saga? When Babidi attempted to use his supernatural skills to take control of Vegeta and use him as a shield against the other Z fighters? Today, we are going to recreate the Buu Saga by wondering what would have happened if Vegeta had never transformed into a Majin. This includes all of the battles from Vegeta first turning into Majin Vegeta up to him regaining control of his mind and body. So sit back, relax, and let's get it! Now, looking at this saga from the beginning, when Vegeta first becomes Majin, he is bestowed with the power to change into Super Saiyan 2. His eyelids darken and an M mark appears on the center of his forehead. Vegeta's power was significantly increased when he became Majin, and if he hadn't possessed this malevolent energy, he would have had to endure a great deal of difficulty in order to successfully transform into a Super Saiyan 2. Majin Vegeta slaughters people without care for their lives, without sympathy, and without respect and consequences of his actions in order to lure Goku into a fight with him. Being a Majin had signified his dark side and allured his desires to kill Goku, as he has always wanted to. If Vegeta hadn't agreed to let Babidi take control of his mind in the first place, this scene of Vegeta going berserk would never have taken place. Moreover, if Vegeta had never turned into Majin Vegeta, the story of the Majin Buu saga would have played out very differently. For comparison purposes, when Majin Buu comes out of the sealed ball, Goku and Vegeta would have fought him together instead of Majin Vegeta fighting Goku and knocking him out so that he can fight Majin Buu alone without Goku and the other Z fighters. Even though Majin Vegeta was aware of his surroundings, Vegeta would have been able to gauge Majin Buu's power and techniques more accurately than Majin Vegeta did. As a result, Vegeta would not have provoked Majin Buu's wrath in the same way as his Majin form. The rest is history, how Majin Buu crushed Majin Vegeta to a pulp during their battle. If Vegeta had remained loyal to the gang, this wouldn't have happened, and perhaps he would have instead lured Buu into a trap so he would at least have stood a chance. After facing off against Majin Buu and coming perilously close to losing, Majin Vegeta comes to the realization that the only way to save his family is to sacrifice himself, which he accomplishes with great pride, shortly before dedicating the noble sacrifice to Goku, Bulma, and Trunks. If Vegeta hadn't turned Majin, this part of the story might have been very different. His efforts elevated him to the status of hero, which grants him the ability to retain his body even after his death. If Vegeta hadn't become a Majin, we wouldn't have been capable of predicting his sacrifice or the heartfelt speech he gave about Goku. Remember that when Majin Vegeta had made the decision to sacrifice himself, he hugged his son out of love. This is one of the significant key differences that should be noted, although he also hits Goku's son, which has vibes of dark humor for Dragon Ball fans. But the important thing to remember is that we wouldn't have been watching this adorable father-son duo if Vegeta had stayed Vegeta. Next, we also have to take into consideration some of the other aspects, such as the fact that if Babidi's magic hadn't worked on Vegeta, or if Vegeta hadn't given him control of his mind in exchange for evil and dark power, then obviously Majin Buu wouldn't have been able to absorb all of the Z fighters, and he wouldn't have been so invincible. In addition, if Vegeta hadn't been Majin, and Goku hadn't been knocked out, the two of them might have been able to save the other towns from the wrath of Majin Buu. It was due to the fact that Goku had just Goten, Trunks, and Piccolo at his side after Majin Vegeta's death, and he was powerless to do anything to save such a large number of people without Vegeta's help. In the afterlife, after knowing that despite Vegeta's sacrificial attack, Majin Buu still survived and was terrorizing the planet Earth, he becomes mad, but due to his one last good deed in comparison to all of the other terrible ones, the Great King steps in and spared Vegeta so that he can go back to the living world to help Goku and the other Z fighters in defeating Majin Buu. Who would have thought that despite Piccolo's interpretations regarding law of good and bad in the afterlife, Vegeta would manage to be resurrected? That was only possible because Majin Vegeta, despite being full of darkness, still cared about everyone deep down. After coming back to Earth, Vegeta witnesses Goku continuing to fight Buu despite the fact that he is outmatched and exhausted. At this time, Vegeta reflects on how the two of them became friends as a direct result of Goku's generous spirit, and finally, Vegeta acknowledges that Goku is superior and better than him. This historic confession would not have been seen if Vegeta hadn't changed into Majin. He never would have been able to do such self-reflection after he did such terrible acts, and recognize the power and respect that he has for Goku. Furthermore, The Buu story would have been altered in such a way that Gohan would still be alive and there would be no Kai Saga, which is Buu's saga sequel. Furthermore, Goku and Vegeta would not have to become candy to defeat Majin Buu from the inside. Now, let's play a thought experiment. What if Majin Buu had consumed Bulma instead of the others? What do you expect Vegeta's response would have been then? Share your thoughts in the comments down below. And hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and slap the bell notification icon so you never miss another video. Until next time, peace.